What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Do you think the Dodgers should retire Fernando Valenzuela's number? If you think so, give me a hashtag retire34 down below in the comment section. And also, do you think he should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York? I want your takes on that down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. 31 years ago tonight, Fernando Valenzuela threw his first and only career no-hitter at Dodger Stadium against the St. Louis Cardinals. If you have a sombrero, throw it in the sky.
Fernando ready, and the strike two pitch is hit back to the box, dribbling to second. Samuel on the bag, close to first, double play. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter at 10:17 in the evening of June the 29th, 1990. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
So for Fernando's no-no, he ended up going 9 innings pitched. He had 7 strikeouts, 3 walks through 119 pitches. And today I posted this question on the Dodgers Nation Twitter account. Should the Dodgers formally retire Fernando Valenzuela's number 34? And should he be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown? So you guys really went off on this question. If you're not on the Dodgers Nation Twitter account, I'm posting stuff on there all day, every day. So get in on that and follow us over at Dodgers Nation. So the question is, should the Dodgers formally retire his number 34 jersey? Because right now it's been unofficially retired, right? Because no one's worn that number since. And the reason why it's not been retired is because Fernando Valenzuela is not a Baseball Hall of Famer, and that is the Dodgers policy. They only retire numbers of players that are in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, is Fernando a Hall of Famer? Well, let's talk about that for a second. For starters, he made his MLB debut in 1980, but from 1981 to 1986, Fernando went 99 and 68, posted a 2.94 ERA. He had 84 complete games, 24 shutouts. He was a 6-time All-Star, a 2-time Silver Slugger. He won the 1981 Rookie of the Year and NL Cy Young. Still the only player in MLB history to accomplish that feat. He also pitched great in the postseason. He was a part of that 1981 Dodgers team that went on to win the World Series. Now, what happened to Fernando Valenzuela was in 1988, he had made 255 consecutive starts until having to miss time after suffering a left shoulder injury. But the start of his career was ridiculous. We'll never see something like this again. El Toro was an absolute beast. It was stuff of legend. Just look how his 1981 season started. Fernando went 9 innings in each of his first 8 starts, allowing just 4 runs and completing 5 shutouts and an 8-0 record in that span. In his first 89 2/3 innings of his major league career, he allowed just 51 hits, had 22 walks, had 84 punchouts, and an ERA of .40. Okay, this is just ridiculous. I mean, if you look at his postseason, he allowed 6 base runners in his first 4 postseason starts. He had a 1.71 ERA. And then against the Yankees in Game 3, he pitched 146 pitches, and the Dodgers won 5-4. So this guy's start was ridiculous. He was on his way to having a Hall of Fame career. Unfortunately, it was derailed by injuries because he was so overworked. By today's standards, I think he pitches well into the mid-90s, and he goes on to be an absolute lock for Cooperstown, maybe even a first ballot Hall of Famer. But look, I don't blame that on anyone. That was just the standards of the time, and he liked to go deep into games. That was his thing. He wanted to finish what he started, just like a lot of pitchers in that generation. But as great as he was on the field, he had a bigger impact off of it. Fernando Mania took over Los Angeles. It really took over the whole country at one point, and it brought the Latino community in Los Angeles into Dodger Stadium. They had a fractured relationship because what had happened with Chavez Ravine. And all of a sudden, you had Latin Americans everywhere tuning into the Dodgers, tuning in to Fernando Valenzuela. People back home in Mexico. This guy took over the sports world when he was at his peak like nothing we've ever seen before. And now you have generations of fans that have grown up loving the Dodgers, and it's because of Fernando Valenzuela. Julio Urias talks about his grandfather telling him stories of El Toro growing up in Mexico and how big of an impact that had on him. And for that, I think he deserves to have his number number retired by the Dodgers. I think that it would make a great statement. It would show that the Dodgers really understand the importance of Fernando Valenzuela and everything he's meant to this organization and the game of baseball. Now, as far as the Hall of Fame goes, look, I understand the totality of his numbers, and that when you look at his entire career, he looks like he's a little off when it comes to making the Hall of Fame. But I also think you need to consider his cultural impact. Maybe you give him the Buck O'Neil Award, which is an award they give away every 3 years, or the Veterans Committee allows him in. But it just doesn't sit well with me that despite all the recognition that he's gotten over the years, he hasn't had that biggest recognition, which is getting your number retired by the Dodgers and getting that Hall of Fame call. Now, to me, I think you can't tell the story of baseball without Fernando Valenzuela, and that is why he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I actually think there's a lot of similarities with Fernando Valenzuela and Yao Ming. Yao Ming, he was fantastic at his peak, but his career was also derailed by injuries, and he ended up in the Basketball Hall of Fame, one, because he was a great player, and two, the impact he had on the game globally. And I think Fernando Valenzuela had a similar impact on baseball here in Southern California and throughout the world. So I think it's time for the Dodgers to do the right thing and retire number 34. But here's some of the best responses I saw on Twitter to this question. Brooke Smith, one of the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, he says, Fernando literally brought in a whole new fan base to the Dodgers, retired the number already. And then at Gene24590 says, he doesn't have the numbers to be in the Hall of Fame, but I think the Dodgers should retire his number just for the sheer impact he made on LA sports. Then at Cisco Kid 17 says, this shouldn't even be up for debate. Fernando absolutely needs his number retired. Then at Scott_VH says, the thing is, the Dodgers have already made an exception to their retired jersey number rule in Jim Gilliam. Fernando is iconic. The Dodgers should make 4 exceptions. Number 34, Fernando. Number 6, Garvey. Number 55, Oral. And number 36, Don Newcomb. This needs to be done. Then at Casey Bat says, number 34 should be retired. It's a no-brainer, really. Then at Luis F. Gordia says, at least he should get his number retired just because of the significant impact he provided the team for over a decade. Only injuries while still in his prime prevented him from getting Hall of Fame numbers, but from the Dodgers' point of view, the numbers should be retired. And then at TTGold88_Tom says, definitely, he had a huge impact growing the Dodger fan base in the 80s and for future generations. But let me know down below in the comments, do you think the Dodgers should retire Fernando Valenzuela's number 34 jersey? Maybe you don't. Maybe you think the Dodgers should stick to their policy where you have to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame to get your number retired. If you think that, that's okay too. And two, do you think that Fernando Valenzuela should be in the Hall of Fame? Let me know down below in the comment section. One of my best friends, he's Mexican. His dad rocks his Fernando Valenzuela jersey pretty much every day, and he tells me he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. But let me know down below in the comment section. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. For all latest Dodgers Nation merch, head over to gearup.la. For latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.